It's very late at night. You can probably tell that. No cloth, no gloves. So be it. But it's one of those nights that my brain feels like it wants to scan. You know what I mean? And you can hear my son. He's working, so that's good. But my brain wants to scan. And wants to scan over this Nancy Guthrie case, because the more that I see, the more that I want to see. And then I start seeing more. So the questions are going to be kind of like a speed round. I'm just going to be asking random questions to see where the energy takes us. I have my key. I'm protected. I have so many questions. It's very hard for me to start. So we're going to do this. We're going to ask that the energy start us out. Give us the direction we need to go for the Nancy Guthrie case. Give us what we should be asking. What are the questions that we should be asking? A wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay, so someone who is pretending to be the good guy and yet who is not. Tell us who that is. My neighbors are so loud. A Knight of Cups. We have this guy. Okay. A Knight of Cups is that one who wants to be the hero. Ride in on the white horse in the shining armor, offering a cup of peace. Uses family as a topic of his conversation. Give us more information. Yes, I have a feeling I know who this is. The Six of Swords. So this is someone, and look how this card, and the original card, it's not paired off like this. In the original card, it's this man in I always like to say a shallow boat, because it's not like it's a yacht. It's far from it. So it's a shallow boat. Everyone has their back to us, as though they don't want to. They no longer want to deal with something. But the man is the focal point, because he is actually rowing the boat. But this is all about thought process and communication and feeling as though they are moving from turbulent, choppy waters into a much calmer seas. Why do they feel like that? Why do they have to feel like this? If this person is actually a wolf in sheep's clothing, then they should be internally strong enough, right? What is this? What is this? The Seven of Swords. Very interesting, because now we have the 6 and we have the 7, and it's all about communication. But interestingly enough, the 7 of Swords is someone who feels like they got away with something. What did they get away from? Or what did they get away with? What do they feel? What do they feel they got away with? Who got away with, oh my gosh. I'm going to tell you this, okay? The appropriate authorities have always had the information that I've always received and so forth. There's something sometimes, not with all, but sometimes in law enforcement and lawyers and in the legal profession that they look at intuitives as kind of that sideshow at the circus type thing. In fact, I know of a woman that cracked a case of a woman who was unalived and actually found where she was, went to the authorities, and they arrested her for thinking that she had something to do with it because she knew too much. And while I don't think that will happen, but boy, oh boy, she sued the LA County Police Department, and I can tell you she got an undisclosed amount of money, rightfully so, for wrongful imprisonment. They kept her in jail for days in cuffs. So you know what? I don't want that to happen. Travel. What type of travel? I know some of you are thinking one person, some of you are thinking another. Could this be that you're describing to us, energy, two separate people? I no longer think that this evidence is overlooked. I'm going to tell you this. And look, there's a camera. And guess what? This camera is actually laying there broken. It's all about, I don't think it's overlooked evidence. I think it's evidence that was hidden to be overlooked on purpose. Tell us who this is. Well, that happened quickly, didn't it? Answer the call. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that I'm going to be getting a call or that you're going to be getting a call, but who answered the call that day that Nancy went missing? Because you know we've got some timeline flub-ups, right? Give us some more information. You know, the digger, the more we dig, the deeper it gets, and the digger it gets. The magician. Oh, that's interesting. For many reasons. You see that the infinity symbol. And this magician feels as though he has every element available to him. Let's go one step further. Maybe does he feel like he has every agency available to him? Does he feel like that he has perhaps a lab available to him? Interestingly enough, there is a motto that this magician card has, and it's as above, so below. So that means that you got to be on the same page. You got to be on the same wavelength. But there's one more very interesting thing, and that is this card, the planet that represents this card is Mercury. Mercury just went direct yesterday. Well, it may not be yesterday any longer. Thursday on the 23rd. It it was Mercury retrograde. And when you're dealing in cases, you can look at things and say, holy moly, Mercury always makes case information. It's like sifting for gold, and you're panning for gold and you're sifting, and then all of a sudden the good nuggets come to the top. And I think that has been happening a lot. Tell us more. So we're talking now about someone who I'm going to say was aware of the call that came in. And see, there was some travel. Oh boy. There was some travel associated. Who was traveling at that particular time? Do me a favor, like and subscribe. And if you all know, just put initials in the comments, please. And yes, this was for money. But I think that it was for something more. I think this was for something more. We've got so much to talk about Saturday night, and especially Monday night on the 27th. Join me, my darlings, at the still case. Sorry, that hit my thumb. At the still case at 7 o'clock. That's my first live on that channel. And we're going to be digging deep. We're going to be digging deep. Three of Pentacles. Now that's interesting. I truly believe that sometimes pentacles don't mean maybe money as much as it means being grounded. It's an earth sign. What do they want to be grounded about? And see, this is very interesting because in this original card is a couple, oh boy, a man and a woman, going to someone of authority in his line of work, asking for help, asking for assistance. That person of authority is associated with I'm going to say it's a group like bricklayers, block layers. It's that type of thing. Well, this person is holding a builder's maul in that card. And that builder's maul is what you tap block and brick in place. He, by trade, is called a mason. Wouldn't that be interesting? I'm going to get my regular deck of tarot here. We're going to, I mean, what's a reading without having a gazillion decks of cards, right? What is a reading? Ugh, I can't, and see, these are so large, sometimes I can't hardly shuffle. Let's hope I can do it without smacking the camera. So I think we're laying some groundwork here, because I think there is definitely a problem in it points to someone of authority that took a call, trying to move away from things, does not want to face it, does not want to answer it. Let's see. The Page of Swords. Well, this is an air element, and you see the little birds there. And you see how this sword goes off the frame of the card, telling us that, oh, we're far from done yet. But look, the wind is really, really starting to blow. It's starting to kick up. And this card is telling us, face things head on. Again, communication, but thoughts, even deeds. It's a double-edged sword. So it can cut both ways. It can heal and it can cut down. Look how blustery. So this is telling us we're not done and communication is coming. Do you ever hear that expression, there's a little birdie that told me so? Well, it comes from that. That little fellow's hair, that little pigtail that he's got going, that little ponytail. I mean, look at him. He's pretty much standing there saying, bring it. And I think that's us. Standing here saying, bring it, we want to know. 9 of Pentacles. Someone who wants to reap benefit and who wants to live a good life. Someone who wants to stop and smell the roses. And I think this it was too big. I think that they thought this was going to be easy. And when this became an overnight sensation, might as well just say it because it was a worldwide thing. Now, this is interesting, this 7 of Pentacles. And it's funny because now it's money, some money here. But the 7 of Pentacles basically is saying someone had to think about where they're going to put something. And look, if you get that large amount of money, even banks now, listen, I have a lot of banking experience, and even banks now, you get over $500, they want to know what you're going to do with it. Like it's their money, right? So imagine getting Bitcoin and you didn't know really where to spend it, because I'm not so sure that these people would know. They watch too many movies. The moment that you convert it into any currency, USD, Euro, even the pound, it is an automatic flag into the system. And they'll know exactly who it is and who's behind it. So, quite frankly, even if they did get a ransom paid out, I don't think that they could have or would have done anything with it. I really believe, based on what we're seeing and what I've seen in the cards over the last few days, that this whole ransom note was just part of the movie to throw everybody off. Part of the movie. The Empress, the counterpart of the Emperor, another 3. You know, sometimes 3s are not that good. 3 can be, remember, 2's company, 3's a crowd. And I believe there were 3 people that were in this mess with Nancy. Look at the planchette. This is a new beginning. The birth of a new beginning. I think we're right around that corner. I really do. I did have my cartomancy deck out here, but we're getting so much with this. And thanks for hanging with me tonight. You know, do me a favor, if you don't mind, if you do, that's fine, but just put the time in when you're watching this. I'm curious to see what time, and make sure you tell us if it's West Coast, East Coast, you know, I'm curious. Oh boy. Falsehood, and we are being lied to. We keep getting that. It's a confirmation of what we already know. That's Riley you hear in the background. He's wanting Mama to go to bed because he and Mommy, that happens to be me, we sit and we watch videos and we listen to music and we have deep intellectual talks. he and I. Ooh. This is interesting. Two of clubs, uncertainty in finances, but especially uncertainty, difficulty, wanting someone else to help you with finances, but it really doesn't come to fruition, and it certainly is not in these three cards, because this particular card is all about expansion. It's all about they want a break from the routine. These people who wanted some extra money and who, I'm going to say, solicited help from someone else. I mean, listen, we can all go with theories, but I've got some. But they were wanting this to be almost as though it were a job, work-related, a situation that they embarked in that went too far. Interestingly enough, this is a card of parting, not in death, but of divorce, separation, and definitely the end of a relationship. And I certainly feel that that is coming. Watch for it. That, there's always little indicators that we can say, watch for it, right? Another pentacle, 5 of Pentacles. This is interesting because these people now who felt that they were going to get rich quick, and unfortunately it went wrong. And I'm going to say this too. I know people who know that, I'm going to use this as an example, not saying anything about anyone, okay? This is entertainment, so I'm just going to share experiences. But I know people who know that they have family members who have serious medical conditions, and they don't pay attention to it because they can't face it. They just don't want to take it seriously because they want to believe that that family member may be there for a very, very long time. But this 5 of Pentacles tells us that whomever is part of the mastermind of the at least 3, I believe 3 are main characters, maybe one more on the side, that they know that there ain't no money coming now. Going to be a while because, Nancy would have to be declared no longer living by a court. And then, even an investigation for an insurance, listen, don't everybody get excited because insurance policies don't just sit down at their desk every day and decide to write out checks. They don't want to pay out. They want the premiums, but they don't want to pay out. And believe me, those insurance companies have invested your premiums and mine very, very well into hedge funds. We're not even going to go there. And that's kitties once again playing now, because it's that time of night that they get up and roll like little nocturnal little babies. But the insurance company, especially in this case, is not going to say, oh, we feel really sorry for you because, Savannah and the rest of the family. They will have an investigation. They want to make sure that they're not paying out fraudulently. Fraud. Did I say that word? Yes, that's the big F word in this type of thing. They want to make sure that they're not paying out in a fraud case. And they would hold it back. So that would be hard to deal with. Extremely hard to deal with. Think about that. It's not an easy thing. People think, oh yeah, we did it for the insurance money. Did it for the insurance. What insurance money? Do you think they're really going to pay that easily? No. They may refuse to pay based on a total loss. They may refuse to pay based on unresolved situation, and they can do that because ye who has the gold rules. And especially with insurance companies. This is a timing card. This timing card, the Ace of Pentacles, wow, you've been here with me a long time, darlings. This Ace of Pentacles is telling us that this is going to take a turn. This is going to take a turn. And remember, we're barreling down on that July 26th date that I've kept talking about as of today that you're watching this. It is now turned into July 25th. Can I stop doing this now? Ah, the Hierophant. A very earthy, very, very earthy card of Taurus. But it talks about marriage. I'm just going to leave that at that. Join me tonight, my darlings, at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be answering and asking some hard questions. And I can't wait for you to be there because I'm going to use the cards and you're going to watch me pull these out just like you are now, right now. And we're going to be asking, maybe even on several cases. But let's do this. Because now, this is serious. Thanks so much for being here and seeing crime right along with me. See you soon.